So today we're going to be focusing on an old BroodWar veteran that transitioned into Starcraft 2. And he's been doing quite well. He even got qualified for the first season of the GSL, but no, he isn't this fashion, sexy, pink Protoss here. This pink Protoss is NEXGenius, as you guys can see. And most of you guys already seen Genius play. He's one of the top Protosses playing on Korean servers. He also got qualified for the season 1 of the GSL, and probably one of the top members on Team Nex. From the top of my head, I can recall Genius, Nex Live Forever, and Nex Unseen. So he's probably on the top 3 to say the least. And he's a very, very skilled Protoss. I even recall I saw a live stream this morning of him, and he was playing against OGS top, and he just dominated the match with Void Rays and such. But never mind that. We're not here to talk about NEXGenius, you guys already know him. We're here to talk about his opponent, the red Zerg NesTea. So NesTea had another name. He used another name on BroodWar. He was recognized as ZergBong, and to be honest, I really enjoyed the name ZergBong, and I think it's a lot better than NesTea. I'm just wondering why he didn't keep the name and just change to NesTea, but it's options, I guess. Maybe it's related with some kind of professional contract that he has to advertise the brand. Who knows? You know how things work on professional esports, so maybe it's related to that. But I'm here to basically give you guys an insight to who ZergBong NesTea is. He was a member of Team KT Rolster on BroodWar, and he was mostly recognized by his 2v2 team. He had a very successful 2v2 team in the Pro League in Korea back then. And he was one of the members. The other member was Reach, and they did a very effective team. They played very well, and ZergBong actually, he was never like a top, like superstar status player on 1v1. He had his matches, but wasn't very, very good. So he's most recognized for his 2v2. And he got to a point around 2007 where Reach, his team member, had to just leave the team because he had to do his military service in Korea. He went to the Air Force. So the team got disbanded, got dismantled from that point, and Reach was the captain of the KT Rolster team, the pro team in Korea. So what happened was that he had to be replaced. They had to find a replacement, someone to take the spot, and ZergBong took the spot. He was the new captain there, and he stayed as the new captain at least until close to the end of 2009, when he announced that he would be leaving. He would stop being a pro gaming in BroodWar and would be transitioning into Starcraft 2. So he still stayed there. He was a coach on the KT Rolster team, coaching only Zerg players from what I recall, and did fairly well, but he got to a point where he just wanted to progress with his career in Starcraft 2, and so here we are. Here he is playing this match, and let's see if he can handle himself against NEXGenius, which is a big, big player, as you guys know. Also another note, like a last point into this presentation from ZergBong, from NesTea. He is one of the founders of a fairly recent team in Korea to play Starcraft 2 called the Incredible Miracle Team, IM Team. And he's one of the founders, and he gathered a fairly decent team, very good team in my opinion, composed with several old BroodWar veterans. From the top of my head, I can recall he has MVP on his team, CHRH, and Lozira. So we're here probably stating or witnessing the birth of a pro team that might be showing us some tricks in the future, and hopefully they're gonna have some of their members qualified for the coming GSLs, and they're gonna show us some epic matches. So I'm gonna focus a bit on the match, see what's going on here. As you guys already seen, the base is just fine. He picked up a fairly early hatchery. Queen here, he already has 2 queens, I think. Yeah, there it is. And he's actually transitioning into a fairly fast lair on this map, which usually might indicate that he's going to go for some Mutalisk harass. Is something that is used frequently. But he doesn't have much of an army from what I can see. Yeah, basically 2 Zerglings and 2 queens. There's not much going on here, is there? But I think it's related to the fact that NEXGenius also doesn't have much of an army. 4 sentries, 1 zealot, and I think both players have been worrying a lot about their drone count and their macro game, because look at that. 33 against 30 harvesters, plenty of harvesters there, plenty of workers, and obviously on this situation NesTea is already leading the way on the economy because he's working out of 2 bases, but Genius won't be holding back for much longer. He already has his Nexus on the main expo, and he's actually stretching his base. As you guys can see, Forge going down, pylon and another pylon, and it seems like he's making some kind of wall off here. to protect his base properly. It is a good option, obviously, especially because this base is hard to defend. There's a lot of openings here. But this is kind of a risky move, I would say, especially on NesTea's side. He went straight tech into the tier 2. It's actually up and running, as you guys can see. On the production tab we can already see the Spire going down, so it appears that he's going to go for the Mutalisk Harass. Also another good option against Protoss is the Hydralisk then, okay? Hydralisks are very effective against gateway units, but seems like that NesTea won't have any of that. He wants to harass, so he's gonna go for the Mutalisks, and based on the fact that his economy is very, very strong at the moment, 52 harvesters, he's been droning his ass off completely. And this is also a risky move, but it's based on the fact that he has so many ways of controlling the map at the moment. He's just keeping tabs on NexGenius moves. Look at the minimap. Xel'Naga Tower controlled. Here on the south side of the main base there's the Overlord, and this Zergling is keeping tabs on this bottleneck here, because if any units pass close to these rocks, it won't be spotted there on the range of the Xel'Naga watchtower. So he has his opponent NexGenius completely controlled, and he will be able to know if he decided to push back, to just come down the map and put some pressure onto him. That's why he's been droning his ass off, because he sees that NexGenius isn't moving at all. He even has an Overlord here on the back controlling everything going around, and he's just macroing intensely. Already a third base going down, his second expo already going down. While what else is getting built here? Let me look. Spire is already up. There comes the first Mutalisk coming out. Plenty of Mutalisks actually coming out. Look at the amount he already has here. And seems like he's going to prepare himself for some kind of harass. He actually established some static defenses here, while Genius is sending a hallucinated Phoenix to check out what's going on these bases. Obviously very effective for scouting purposes, and he's going to check everything going on the base. But meanwhile NesTea has real Mutalisks into his mineral line on the main base, destroying as many as he can. Already has several probes killed, at least like 4 or 5 of them, and now the defense is finally showing up. 2 photon cannons going down on the mineral line, making sure that NesTea won't be able to harass anymore, or at least anytime soon, unless he muster up more forces. What else is getting NexGenius here? Yeah, he's setting all his defenses, preparing his natural expo to be defended while he tries to make a push. He's even closing here the sides, as you guys can see. He placed 2 pylons here, so there's no harass coming here on the back of the natural expo. And this wall off here, it's almost finished, has a gap here, but still a very long wall there, trying to contain any move that might try to come into his main base. Fairly interesting approach to this game by NexGenius, obviously. On the upgrades here, as you guys can see, NesTea is going straight Mutalisks. He's getting a lot of Mutalisks. Also upgrades for his air units, 1 more Queen, probably for his third base, while the NexGenius is getting Blink and upgrade for his ground units. There it is, ground weapons level 2 already, and Blink for his Stalkers. So he might be going to mess some Stalkers now, or else he wouldn't be getting the Blink. And he's pulling down. He's coming down to make pressure onto NesTea base. It seems like he's gonna head for the third base, which is quite undefended at the moment. Here comes all the Mutalisks, but he seems like he's gonna pull back. Yeah, he's gonna pull back. He's not gonna worry about this one, it seems. He's gonna ignore this base, just let it get destroyed and defend these 2 bases, while he's gonna prepare a counter-attack. His reasoning is, all his forces are here destroying my third base, I'm gonna put pressure on him and just destroy these both his bases, or as much as I can. Focusing fire on the mineral line on the natural expo, destroying those photon cannons, a couple of Stalkers actually warping in to defend, but it's just way too many Mutalisks, killing everything, and the mineral line is completely clean. NexGenius had to pull these forces out of there, all the probes into the main base, but now the forces that went from NexGenius to destroy that third base are back and are trying to just fend off this big group of Mutalisks, which they actually did on this situation. But meanwhile, the NesTea lost his base. He's just picking it up again, third base once more, and his army at the moment is a Mutaling army, big mass of Mutalisks with Zerglings as well. Gonna advance this time on the west side of the natural expo. Head there on the left on the minimap, as you guys can see. Seems like he's going to try some kind of big push on that side. This side is not even very defended, as you guys can see. There's a Phoenix flying around trying to scout, and here comes, entering the natural expo, trying to destroy as much as he can, but there was a big group of Stalkers here waiting for him. Seems like that NexGenius has been massing a lot of Stalkers meanwhile, and actually reinforcing them with 2 attack on the upgrades. So this is going to be hard to beat. How's the Mutalisks, their upgrades? Yeah, he only has 1 attack, so on that face-off against those Stalkers it would be complicated, but it appears that he's going to make a different approach now. This base is almost finished. NesTea picking up a 4th base here on this corner, and as you can see on the minimap, he's going to make a 2-way attack, while NexGenius is advancing with the bulk of his forces all the way south. Here comes advancing on the main base, and at the same time forces there on the left prepared to enter the Natural Expo. It's a bunch of Zerglings, a big Zergling wave. Here it is destroying the mineral line. Meanwhile, the Zerglings entering on the Natural Expo. There's a lot of forces here to defend against this, and the Mutalisks destroyed the complete mineral line. Whoa, big damage there, while the Zerglings are still running around, but they're gonna all get killed because the forces of NexGenius are just pulling back from the main base and killed what was left of those Zerglings. Still a lot of destruction on the mineral line. Look at the difference on the harvester count and the income. Brutal shock there. I'm not sure how NexGenius will be able to recover from that. He needs to get these probes working once again, because NesTea is working over 2,000 minerals, 77 harvesters against 41, it's a lot. And seems like he's going to prepare a second wave to apply more pressure into NexGenius. Don't let him breed, just stress him so much that he won't be able to control these units. There it is, big wave of Mutalisks on the right side, entering from the south of the main base, while the big Zergling wave is getting ready on the west side of the Natural Expo. He's going to pull back actually. I thought he was going to apply some pressure, but seems like he's going to defend once again. He's trying maybe to reinforce even more, but he has such a big Mutalisk composition there. Look at the unit count. 26 Mutalisks, 42 Zerglings. And compared to what NexGenius has, he actually has 5 Templars there, Dark Templars, Archon, 16 Stalkers and 8 Zealots. Seems like that NesTea might have a powerful enough army composition here to apply pressure. 181 against 123, there is a gap there. And here comes Mutalisk wave entering the main base, while he's getting Dark Templars, as you guys can see. There's the Dark Shrine, destroying what's left of this mineral line, while the Zerglings enter the Expo, wreaking havoc on the mineral line. And NexGenius is getting ready for a base trade. He's just advancing with his troops, he's not pulling back, focusing fire on this Nexus. Nexus destroyed, while the forces from NexGenius advancing, but there's so many spine crawlers here. Big line of defense set by NesTea, just a way of making sure that he would be able to assault the NexGenius bases while he would be fighting against those spine crawlers, and very, very effective. There's some Dark Templars slicing all the Zerglings here, but everything is getting destroyed on the main base, while the big group from NexGenius is advancing into the Natural Expo, destroying all those spine crawlers finally. And NesTea is pulling all his forces, you can notice it on the minimap, and he's going to try to defend this assault here. There was a second hatchery on the Natural Expo trying to mass produce more units, but here comes the defense. Queen coming from the 3rd base, Mutalisks and a lot of Zerglings, even the drones got pulled back. Big battle going on here, and the forces from NexGenius are completely surrounded in the middle. He's trying to play with the force fields containing all those Zerglings, but now Zerglings just bursted through those force fields and grinded all of those units down. Oh, big damage going on there. No Dark Templar could save him there, and he actually had some of them running around. Well, okay, well, the game is over. Big destruction here. Very effective, this Mutaling army on this situation. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I'm going to be uploading it soon enough. See you all later. Have fun.